Right, the highlight from GreatStockPicks.com on Friday, March 8th from our live trading chat room. I don't know whether to be proud of this call or embarrassed of it, because I pride myself on the fact that I don't usually call thinner stocks, right? I'd like them to average at least 1 million shares a day. And lo and behold, I'm clicking around this morning and I see this broad vision. It just keeps catching the corner of my eye. I just keep seeing this volume compared to recent volume. These are 5-minute candles here. And I'll show you the daily chart in a minute, but this was breaking out on the daily. This had a crazy move back in 2012, like from $8 to 50 something dollars. So there were so many things catching my attention, but it's such a thin stock. I just, I showed the chart actually when it looked probably like this and said, hey, we need to watch this, even though it's against everything I believe in trading something this small. Okay, so then when it came back down to what I call the buy zone between the 8 and the 20 period moving average right here, on declining volume, I couldn't take it. I called it long right here. I said 927, worst case stop 905. Okay, that was my idea. And I'll scroll across. There's a quick pop. Then it based for a little bit, and then it was off to the races. High of day break. See the volume coming in, and it just kept going. And look at the daily now. And still barely, with all that, barely met I can't talk, 1 million shares today. But you can see the daily chart. If I scroll over here, look at this thing. I'm not suggesting it's going to 55, but back here from like $8 over the course of a couple months all the way to 55. So when I saw the volume today and the break above any recent high, like I said, I just couldn't look away, and I finally called it. So in a way, it's embarrassing, but in another way, a whole bunch of people thanked me, and a lot of us made a bunch of money on this one. So it actually went to 11.10. It moved $1.83 in our favor on 22 cents risk. And again, the entry was right there. So it doesn't get much better than that. And we were never underwater. All right, so that was BVSN and then YELP. YELP. I'm pretty proud of this one too, because see these little volume spikes here? I did not have YELP on watch, although we've traded YELP several times in the last couple of weeks. And this one can move when it moves. So I saw this volume coming in, and it caught my attention. And I went ahead and called it long right here, what we call a Tokyo play in our chat room. Okay, when you get the volume, the high of day still to the left, yesterday's high to the left of that. So we have what we call stacked catalysts, volume coming in. Called it long right here. It was actually 23.57 when I called it. Worst case stop always goes below where the volume started. So it go 23.32 was the stop. 25 cents risk. And from 23.57, hard to tell on 1-minute candles. I'll just switch to 5s now. Look at that. So we caught it. Get that arrow again. We caught it like right there. Like one of the first groups in, and the worst case stop was right there. And another huge move. It went $1.63, if my math is right, on 25 cents risk. So those were the two big trades today. And then the only other things I called, I'll go over them real quick. Nothing stellar, but nothing damaging either. HIMX. Yeah, HIMX on the daily, just acting crazy. So that kind of put it on my radar. And it rallied here, came down, rallied again. So you had this tight base. I was thinking it might go over the high of the day. So I called HIMX 448 with a 432 stop. There's the trigger. It only went to 450 something. Back down to our entry. I don't hang out when I get a failed breakout. So just a flat there. CRUS just called on a high of day break. This is a beaten up stock. Okay, and then it was gapping up today. So the daily was kind of interesting to me. I thought this might get some little bit of mojo, if you will, on a high of day break. So I called it when it looked like this. I said if it gets to 23.30, I'm long. 23.13 stop, and there's the trigger. And it kind of grinded higher the rest of the day up to 23, whatever it was, 23.62 or something like that. But once we took the entry, never looked back. So we made a little money on that late in the day, and also JCPenney's called it long at 15.08, right about here with a 15 stop. So it held the stop, came back a little bit, and then took off, went to 15.25. We were sellers into this volume, at least on some, and then go to break even. So not a lot out of JCPenney's, but that was it. I think that was all of my calls for the day. So really nice day. There weren't a lot of trades, but who cares, right? We had some nice ones. I'll quit babbling. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys on Monday.